So before beginning, let us just revise the endings once again. So for example, the word Regina, genitive would be singular. Regine, dative. Accusative, reginam, and ablative would be regina. Plural, you would have reginae in the nominative. Genitive would be reginarum. Then in the dative, you would have reginis, then reginas in the accusative plural, and reginis in the ablative plural. So once again, keep in mind the endings. Okay, so for the first exercise, we have to convert to the opposite number. Okay, and then we have to translate. So let's take the first one. Letizia. Okay, let's take 3. Okay, so take some time and just try to first solve it, then we'll solve it together. So what you're supposed to do it, first take a look at which case it belongs to. Okay, or first try to identify whether it is singular or plural, then look at which case it belongs to, then you try to translate to the opposite case. So let's maybe solve the first one. So Letizia. So first and foremost, let's guess the number. Is it singular or is it plural? We know it is singular. Why? Because in the plural there is nothing ending with a. Now when we look at, our focus is on the singular. So in the singular, where, in which cases does the noun end with a? Either you have nominative or ablative. Okay. So first and foremost, first step is done. You have identified the number and the case. Now let us convert this to the opposite number. So opposite would be plural, right? So now let us go to the plural of anything ending with a. So nominative plural will be would be Letizia. Okay, which is now nominative plural. And what does this mean? Joyce. Okay. Now ablative would be letitis would be ablative plural with joys. Okay, you all can either stick to only one, or if you want you can also give both the possibilities. Okay, it's not necessary that every time you have to give both possibilities. If you feel you can give, but at least one should be done. Ah yes, let's just cross check. TIA, yes. Wait, let us just cross check. Yes. We looked at the endings, right? So look at what is ending with A. Okay, so you have nominative and ablative ending with A. So therefore it can either be nominative or it can be ablative. Two possibilities it can have. And then you go and do the translate into the opposite number. So plural. So therefore, since it is nominative singular, nominative plural would be ending with AE. Hence, let us say, and then ablative plural ending with is. So, letitis. Okay? Same now, let us solve amicitsya. Plural, right? Yeah, it's nominative plural, na? Because these both are singular. Hence, plural. Okay, so wait, TIA, right? Ah, yeah. Yes, okay. Okay, so let us once again solve amicitsya. So, what is the number first and foremost? Singular. And what are the possibilities? Nominative and ablative. Okay, as before. So, hence, what would be, now as we said again, the focus should be on the plural now. So, what is genitive plural of amicitsya? Ami, chit, che. And what does amicitsya mean? Okay, so hence this would be amicitsya is friendships, right? And when you look at the ablative plural, it would be ami, chis, which means by or with the friendships or friendships. Okay, let's solve this one also, and then we'll take another 3 examples for additional solving. So copiarum. Now identify whether it is singular or plural. Why plural? Because of the arum. Okay, and arum where do we find? In the genitive plural. Now we have to convert to the opposite number. So from plural to singular. Hence, what would be the genitive singular of copiarum? Copiae, which means, what is the meaning of copia? So this would be of the supply or of supply. Okay, so now let's take another 3 words which you all try to solve. We'll take agricolam, turbe, and coma. Okay, so try to solve it in this way. Take around 5 to 10 minutes, then we shall solve it on the board. So first let us identify which number is it. Is it singular or plural? Okay, singular. Now which is the case? Wait, let him answer. Which one? Okay, case is accusative. So now what we are supposed to do is we have to translate to the opposite number. So it is singular. So what would be the plural of agricolam? Would be agricolas. Okay, and what does agricolas mean? The farmers. All got this correct? Turbe. First and foremost, which number is it? No, which number? Singular or plural? Yeah, it can be both, but for the sake of the exercise, identify any one. Singular. Okay, so if you take it as singular, so what are the possibilities? It can be genitive and dative. Now, now we go to the plural. So what is the genitive plural of turbe? Would be turbarum. And what will it mean? Of the mobs or of the crowds. Then regenerative plural would be turbis, which will be to the mob or crowds. 2 or 4. Okay, 2 or also 4 is possible. Yeah, I mean obviously that this will not kind of matter. If you want, you could put just farmers or the farmers. Okay, because when you're translating, depending on the sentence, then it makes sense. But here you can either say the farmers or just farmers. Next, okay, is it singular or plural? Singular, okay. And what is the case? Okay, it can be either nominative or nominative or which one? Singular. Which one is ending with A? Look at this chart here. You have ending with A is in nominative, singular, and you have ablative singular. So now when you translate into plural, what would be the plural nominative of comma? Come. And what does comma mean? So come would be hairs, and ablative comes by or with the. Now generally in English we don't say has, okay, we just say hair, but for the sake of understanding at this level we will use as has, just to distinguish between the singular and the plural. Okay, and one thing you should distinguish when you're also translating, don't look for the perfect English translation, because the whole purpose is to make sure that you are able to interpret correctly. Okay, so that should be there. So for the next one, you are supposed to determine the case and then translate into Latin. Okay, so what is underlined here is the women, the story, and to the girls. So the women, what would be the case? Okay, nominative. Then to the girls, dative, and the story would be accusative. Good. Now let us translate this. Okay, so the women. So is it singular or is it plural? Singular or plural? Plural. So we know that femina is Latin word for women. What would be the nominative plural? Femine. Then what is the word for story? Fabula, right? Fabula. So accusative, singular, of fabula would be accusative singular would be fabulam, and to the girls, since it is dative, puella is the Latin noun for girls, you will have puel, so let's take another sentence. A queen of an island has servants. First and foremost, identify the a queen would be which case? Nominative. Then of an island, genitive, has servants. Now what is the number? So sorry, this would be accusative. So what is the number, singular or plural? Singular. Then here also singular, and accusative would be plural, right? So queen, that would be Regina. Then of an island, okay, so insula is the noun for island, nominative singular. What would be genitive singular? Insulae. And accusative plural of serva, servants, would be let us take the 10th one. That is by means the poet wrote a story. So what is underlined is by means of the language, the poet and story. Okay, by means of the language, is it singular or plural? Okay, so this is singular, and what is the case? Ablative. Then the poet, singular or plural? Singular. Case? Okay, a story, singular, plural, singular, and case accusative. So by what is the noun for language? Lingua. What would be the what would be the ablative singular of lingua? Lingua. Then the poet. Poet is poeta. What would be the nominative singular? Poeta. A story. Story is fabula. And accusative singular would be fabulum.